They were doing crossovers, so they were going to compete in both. And when I saw that, I was like, all right, I'm going to do it too. So I did it. That was the first time and only time I've ever done bodybuilding. So within 24 hours, I had to learn the routines, the poses, and
Yeah.
um, I ended up winning. So, but it was a 24-hour class I went through to learn the poses, and it was really hard to do the back lat spread.
Yeah, I remember that because I interviewed Winnie Sanchez a while back, and this is before she did that show, and I think she was either she's doing women's over 40, women's over 35, and I think you won a women's over 40,
Mhm.
and yeah, and that's just where some women did had the argument because why she's competing in a division where she's not supposed to be in, but she's winning in that division, and then again with the masters competitors, y'all have to pay. And that's the thing. That's something even says to me. Why y'all have to pay when, as a pro, you should? That's money you taking more money you put in your pocket.
Mhm. Yeah, it's. I think now for all of that, I heard just recently that they're going to require you paying. I'm not sure, but we have to do. We every year we have to renew our IFBB Pro card, so that costs about $200, I believe, and then the show. So there's a lot of money expense that goes into it.
Yeah, this is why one thing I think a bodybuilder could do was, especially when you're paying as a pro, you're paying for your card every year. Maybe put in something like benefits, like health benefits, life insurance, cover the cost of when you travel, stuff like that. Because you know what, if there was a union in the IFBB or some of these other organizations, it would help you athletes. But people don't want unions because I worked a job where I had a union,
Yeah.
but those things can help you out in the long way, especially those people who don't have sponsorships. That's tough on you financially, and just a little assistance. Because you know what, we come to see y'all. Y'all compete. We come see y'all. We don't come see the judges. You're going to see the promoters. We come see y'all. And I think, if anything, you want to really invest in your athletes because bodybuilding will be bodybuilding without the bodybuilders.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we got a comment from a man, KL. He says this. He says, "What would you do? Wellness? Or you have that look to down the other divisions like figure, wellness, or even bikini? Like, would you ever consider wellness?"
I actually love the wellness look. I really do. And I remember when it first came out, I talked to my coach about it, and he goes, Lenore, you just I don't have the legs for it. You have to have these big muscular legs, and I don't have that. So it would take me forever to get to that point. So,
Yeah, you have to do a lot of leg days. I got a friend of mine. Her name is Jada. She was a physique competitor. She switched women's bodybuilding. Now she switched back to physique. Now she's doing wellness.
mhm.
And if you don't have those, as we say it like this, if you don't have those Afro aesthetics,
Yep.
the thicker legs, the thicker thighs, more of glute development, it's not the vision for you. It's you have to work with what your body gave you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's tough.
Exactly. So that was as beautiful as I think that division is. It was not an option for me. So,
Yeah. Well, I'm right now. I interviewed some ladies who do amateur wellness. I'm trying to get my hands on some some pros. Sometimes it's like my other guy says, I like a dog chasing cars. I don't know when to get one. If I get one, I just oh, Lenore. Before I go, I want to tell you something. You are beautiful. I'm sorry about him. I try to keep him. He's just trouble. I mean, it's just, but like I said, this sport, from stuff I learned from interview with you ladies and being a fan, I've been following bodybuilding for a long time. I grew, like I said, the tail end of the Arnold Schwarzenegger era. That started Lee Haney, people like Corey Everson and Linda Murray and Iris Kyle. I'm more, like I said, really I respect what y'all ladies do. I'm by crime. I'm a muscle person. I mean, you ladies, you're just seeing y'all ladies in the suits, and when I was coming up as a teenager, something different. But then talk to you ladies and hearing your stories really makes us understand. But still, there's that part of me. I remember when I was on one of these chat rooms. This guy, I was in a chat room for muscle fans. He said, "Guys, you like female bodybuilders?" I said, "Yeah, I like female bodybuilders." I said, "Well, kid, there's an old saying. What's the saying? He said, when you ladies rock hard, we'll rock hard." But It's really, I give you ladies respect for what y'all do for this sport where it's not as lucrative as financially. It's a lot of, it's extreme sports, a lot of stress. And then to get up in the morning, do what you do, to work out, to train, be consistent. You know what I mean? And it's so in your video how you said that you went to Cheesecake Factory. Tell me, Lenore, what's that thing you love the most? That thing that you want after a show that be calling your name.
It's always the same. It's a cheeseburger with bacon and avocado, and my French fries, a slice of carrot cake, and a mai tai.
A little alcohol, yeah. Say, what you have to say one more sip. One more sip. We're gonna have a good time tonight, baby. We have a comment from my man. He's a hater. He's a hater. He's always hating. He says, stop that joker. You are fine without it. Hey. It's me. Because you know what? You know what, KL? You know why? He completes me. Because he's a hater. Well, he does content about it, but shout out to KL, the Wanderer. And yeah, because this is like people gotta understand that there's so much in sport. Not only the diet, the exercise, the training, everything encompasses. Like you do blood work. I know, that's one thing that's also important for a body because you want to status your health. Because I've seen some people wasn't that long ago we had some passing away, some dying, people getting sick. Some people getting out of it because the fact is it does affect your health in the long run. But it's no different from anything else.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's been quite a few deaths in the bodybuilding world the past few years. It's kind of scary. People that they look like the epitome of health, and they're dead. And so I don't know what the story is on those, but I have heard more and more about people dying from bodybuilding or just something that they're doing or taking. I don't know, but it's pretty sad.
Because other thing, if you follow the guidelines and not even try to do anything extra, it does help you better in the long run. But if you try to be more extreme, try to say you want to one up the next guy, it can have effect to you. I mean, this is again the sport. There's a lot to this, and you have to sit down and understand it. It's not as simple as like is take a pill and boom, 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 you're like this. And this is why bodybuilding gets picked on because of the whole steroids or use of any kind of performance enhancers. But it's in almost every sport. Every sport does it, but it's so easy to pick on bodybuilding than anything.
Yeah, you just have to be consistent. You have to be willing to give up your birthdays, outings with friends, alcohol, parties, going to restaurants and taking your own food. Events that you typically would go to. It's sometimes easier not to go, just so you're not tempted with foods that you're not supposed to eat, or it's just you literally become a reclusive.
You can't be like a hermit because I know ladies say me like they can't go to the bar with a friend. You go to if you get invited to a wedding, you have to bring your own food because you can't. What's the average food list for a wedding? Like fish, steak, and chicken,
Mhm.
and you can't eat any of that because it doesn't fit within your diet or your plan for you competing or you're getting ready for a show. You're not even competing; you're just prepping for the next season.
Mhm.
There's so much because that's why I think one people don't understand because I've ladies talk to me say like, "Here, my family might want to stuff something down my throat," like especially in the summer barbecues. I know in Texas, y'all are king of beef and stuff like that. Barbecues are running and you smelling that. You act like Pookie from New Jack City. Be calling my name, man. Be calling my name. Be calling my name.
Yeah, we are known for our barbecue. We got some good barbecue here.
Well, you got to remember, Carolina also has good barbecue too.
Oh, really?
We'll have a war. We're gonna have a war on that. Carolina versus Texas. We're gonna have a war on that.
Think so. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah, yeah.
I don't know you're gonna win. We have a lot of cows.
Well, we have a lot of pigs. We got. I used to work. Yeah, we y'all do cows. Y'all got your beef. We got our pork. I used to work at a. Actually, used to work at a meat processing factory. We deal with pork in Smithfield, and I used to work there. That's where I got my first heart attack because I was working there. I thought I was sick, but it was just my doctor told me it was my heart, and then I had to get a pacemaker after that. But yeah, that's gonna be a war
Mhm.
between Carolina and Texas. You know,
So we'll do it.
yeah, we do. We get y'all get y'all beef. We get out our pork. Our sauce is a little different than yours. That's gonna be a debate.
Yeah, there you go. I've never had any pork from. At least I don't think so, from North Carolina.
Well, you should, wherever, like I said, there's not many shows in North Carolina other than the Charlotte Pro. Maybe, I got a friend. His name is Glenn. He does he did an interview with me a while back. He runs Amazon Fitness Magazine. He's stationed here in North Carolina. He's like an hour away from, like almost an hour away from I stay here. Maybe I seen him so you check out his stuff. Maybe you might, if you're ever in the area, stop through, do a photo shoot with him. Maybe check out some of our barbecue. He might take you a good place and check it out.
Thanks, I will do that.
Yeah, you're welcome. This is from my man KL. He says, bodybuilding is the sucker in the sports. They like picking on you. Picking on it. Yeah, it's so easy to pick on because people don't think that, you're getting so big. And the thing is, also, another guy who follow, and I think you get an interview with him. His name is David from Female Bodybuilding Forum. He talked about fit shaming, how it's funny, especially is, I changed my life by making decisions was helpful for me because at one point I was on 10 medications because of my heart issue,
Mhm.
and now I'm down to 6. And
Okay.
I don't eat as much stuff like I used to, but I just every now and then because sometimes you can't break any habits. That's hard.
Yeah.
But this is not just about changing your life, making those decisions. Like you talk about how sacrifices you have to make, things you can't do, like with your friends and family, like going out and eating, just like that. You just have to understand that.
Yep. It's literally a lifestyle change. So if you're not willing to do that, then this is not the sport for you. But usually during the 9 week fit challenge, people either they gain a new appreciation for the sport, or they gain a love for it. And quite a few people have did the 9 week fit challenge, and then when it went off to do a show, I've had people get off medications that they were on for all their life, from blood pressures to, they were borderline diabetic. I've had people that left what they did for a living to become a personal trainer, because they grew a passion for, the sport. And it's I've seen a lot of lives change, so it's a good thing.
It's a good thing, and you're doing good work, and helping these people out and finding their passions. And you mentioned you at the with you a friend of yours. Her name was Cynthia. Is she still competing, or is she you know?
She competed last year, and then she wants to do another show. I don't know if she is or whatever. Most likely she is, but she's wanting to get her pro card one way or another. And so she's pretty determined. She's Once she gets her mind into it, she focuses in. So I believe she will.
Well, it's my one of my favorite heroes, Batman. One thing Batman didn't have, he didn't have superpowers like Superman and all that stuff, but he had determination. And that's one thing that helps some of these characters, determination. And I know there's North America's coming up. I think in a week. There's also the the Olympia amateurs that's coming up, and also the nationals. What they're because that wasn't Florida, now it's in Texas.
Yeah.
And yeah, that'd be great for a lot of competitors in that area. I interviewed a couple of people, Brad and his wife Beverly. Brad is amateur, so is Beverly, and Brad's going to do nationals. Beverly got to do a regional show. Here, this is from my man KL. He says, if you had to start your life over again, would you still compete out of curiosity?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't regret anything that I've done in my life. So I everything that I've done has brought me to where I am today. So I wouldn't change anything because I kind of like myself. So I would definitely do it.
Yeah, you
And
got
I would recommend for anybody that has never competed to at least do it one time. It
yeah.
changes the way you think, and changes the way that, your habits. If you you can't have bad habits if you want to do what I do. You have to be consistent, you have to be dedicated, you have to be a very strong mindset, because you have to be able to take a criticism, you have to be able to be corrected, and you have to be correctable, meaning that just because you've been doing it a long time doesn't mean you know it all. I learn every day. So
Yeah, that's it. Consistency is one part about sport. Following your diet, following your coaches where he's providing for you. It's a lot to the sport, and people need to understand that. If you're not willing to get into it, it's not for you. You should just go ahead and live your life. So, folks, we do like to appreciate her time. This is from man KL. He says, "A good answer." This is thank you, KL. Say shout out to you, and we do appreciate her time because this lady, I think, really we inspire people who've been through what she's been through, been divorced. She found this sport. It really motivates her. She wants to compete one more time. She wants to jump on the saddle like you cowboys, yeehaw, and just keep going. Because, like I said, you to do the sport, you get to have a mindset to understand that there's so much to it, and you have to really figure out where you want to go, how you want to go, where you want to build, what you want to work on. There's so much that's involved in the sport to get to that next level. As a competitor, what would you like to see more for yourself out of bodybuilding?
As a competitor, what do I like to see more?
Yeah.
That's that's a good question. I mean, really, I've done everything I've wanted to do at this point, so um, I can't even think of one thing other than what I've already done. So I've had a good support system. I can't, I have zero complaints, zero.
That's good. That's good. You have the support system, your husband, your friends, your coach, the people that you work with. It's most definitely needed for the sport, especially for y'all ladies. Because my channel, I respect bodybuilding, but I respect these competitors, but I'm a fan of the ladies. It may not be the 80s, but I'm a fan of you ladies. But really you have to have a passion as again for this sport.
No,
It
absolutely.
takes a lot. Yeah. There's so
Really.
much to it. And one thing can help is sponsorship. If anybody out there who's interested in it, she already has sponsors, but you know what? Every sponsor doesn't help because it cuts the cost of certain things like travel. She want to do another show, cost of a suit, stuff like that. That would help. But there's a thing is sometimes Lloyd, these guys said, "Hey, Lenore, you're a cute little brown little thing. Yeah, I've seen some of your pictures and stuff like that. So if I do a favor for you,
Uh,
no.
I get those all the time. So,
Yeah, because you're a very attractive woman. Yeah, who can't
mm,
help herself? But guys, no, this is what you're supposed to say. Said Mrs. Grayson, we have an interesting story, our position for you. Something you might be interested in. We have a company. We like your story. Like your history. You're also a lady in business. So if you are interested in working with us, and it works with to advantage for yourself and for us, we want to offer you a contract. So if you want to work with us, we work with you. We'll further you in your career as a bodybuilder or whatever outside of the sport. We're happy to be one of your sponsors.
awesome. That would be great.
Yeah, it'd be great. But we all know it's all a dream, just like B said, it is all a dream. But you know what? Sometimes dreams can come true. So, folks, if you want to follow her social media stuff is in the description of this live stream. Check her out. If also you saw the plan, if you're do the 9 plan, go to her IG, go to her website, check it out, join, become a member. That does help. I'm not ready yet. I'm still in my own ways because in a couple of months